going over the ingredients. So we have, go ahead and start.
What we started out with this morning, I did a little unusual in that I didn't know what time they'd be getting, what time my family would arrive. So I put the soup bone, which was about 1.25 pounds, on at 9 o'clock to simmer with just water and some salt and pepper. Normally I would have put at least a cup of diced onion and 3/4 cup diced celery also within it to simmer, but not knowing my family very well, I didn't know just what time they might arrive. So I'll put that little bit of add in. And now this is just the meat that just is falling off the bone so nicely. This is what I like.
And so then the other ingredients that we have in this are
when we put them in now, when I dump them in, I'll relate what they are.
Okay, but we have quick barley, we have petite diced tomatoes, we have beef broth, stewed tomatoes, potato,
and then at the very end we will add noodles.
And those are egg noodles.
Yes, egg noodles.
And then we also
extra
have
wide.
Some carrots and fresh green beans that we will be
Fresh green
adding.
beans that we're putting in.
About a cup of each, right? Is that kind of?
Pardon?
About a cup of each, carrots and
yes,
green beans?
Yes, probably. Somehow my dear granddaughter Christina is enamored with Grandma's vegetable beef soup. I just think the secret to good vegetable beef soup is a simmered soup bone. And I usually started out with that, and I don't know, I don't really measure very carefully. I think about 1/2 cup of onions plus an equal amount of probably 3/4 cup of celery, and use the leafy parts as well. I don't believe in throwing waste, so there is some leafy part of the celery and diced celery and onion. And I need to, because I did start this soup bone at 9 o'clock this morning, and it's now 11:30. It's pretty tender already. So I want to simmer now the onion and celery with the soup bone for about 1/2 hour, and then we'll take out the meat. It'll be good and tender, and then we'll add other ingredients. So this is just simmer away for about 1/2 hour.
Okay, so what are you doing now, Grandma?
Well, we're going to take out the soup bone. You know that it's nice, getting nice and tender, and it'll be, because we want our meat real, that it falls apart like this.
So how long has it been simmering for?
It's been simmering since 9 o'clock this morning.
Okay, and it's 11:43, so that's about 3 hours?
Yes, yeah, this really got nice and tender. I always allow about 3 hours to simmer the soup bone, and only have added to it at that point celery and onion, and a little bit of salt and pepper.
Okay.
Letting which was just water on the soup bone. I'll let this simmer while we try to catch any, so we get rid of all of the, sometimes there's some gristle with the soup bone. We'd rather not have that in the soup. So I will let now the celery and onion is simmering. I'm going to dice the meat.
Okay, and it's been about 15 minutes so far with the onion and celery simmering, but normally we put in
Normally
that
I would
all
put
at
that
once,
in
right?
first,
Okay.
yes. Got it?
Yep.
I'm just throwing the bone. You can see how this is really taking anything out of it, and you want to get rid of that. That's just the onion and celery. That's good. But we don't want this. Maybe a little meat right there. This is what we want to get rid of.
What is that?
That is the bone. I've gotten rid of the bone and some of the gristle and fat, although it is also a little bit of the fat that flavors the soup. This is a very good piece of meat here. But some is. And then it just comes apart. That's what I always do with a knife and a fork. I try to catch if there's any. It should be. Here's a little bit of a tough piece. So do away with that. And I just keep kind of going back and forth. Hopefully I catch it all. Remember, it's homemade soup. So once in a while you might get a little. But here, you want to skim this off. You can do that. It usually falls off very easily if you got it good and tender. I don't want that either. This is all good. It's always, for some reason, the meat that's next to the bone is very usually tasty.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll have a little bit of, I don't know what you call it. Kind of have to watch that. Try to catch it all. A little tough stuff on this one. This is a little tricky right here. Good luck with this. Was a good soup bowl. A lot of meat on it, and the meat is by simmering it like that long. There's another piece. Ideally, you want it like this, that it falls apart. And then we'll still be we'll put this all back in and add the rest of the vegetables. We should have it done in about an hour. You don't get fresh beans in the fall, but fresh beans in this today. And a good amount of meat. This was an excellent soup bowl. I might have to add a little more water in addition to this. Well, we'll see how much. Put this away. Now I put the potato. I'll slice the potato in next. It's right here now. Cut off. Am I talking to? Am I being filmed or am I off?
You're being filmed.
I'm being filmed. So watch what you say, Rabona. Well, usually I mix in with the usually goes quite slow, so it isn't frustrating. It's just kind of time consuming when you make a vegetable beef because you've got to cut everything up and dice it. Some people, if they like a little stronger instead of potato, I'm trying to think what the name of that vegetable is. Rutabaga. But that's kind of a strong taste. But some people will put a little rutabaga in it.
I don't think I've heard of rutabaga.
Yellow. It's a yellow vegetable. So if in doubt, I just always, Grandpa always just likes a little potato in. Do not like rutabaga. So you aim to please, you know.
I feel like I've never had your soup with rutabaga.
Have you never had it?
I don't think so.
Well, I'm sure they have it at your supermarkets out there. It's kind of, you kind of have to watch it. Sometimes it can be kind of tough. So I don't know what the, and it's definitely stronger than it too. This is not a beautiful plate for a chance either. I'm going to add that, but it's very old, just like Grandma. Opener for any of this, but here are the carrots and a few. I would have liked a little more, but there's some fresh green beans. I do like, for some reason, but that could be to your taste. It doesn't have to be string beans. Could be peas or corn. If you're I'm not as much of a corn person in soup. Some people like corn in their soup. I tend to like green beans. So that's personal. Automatic can openers, you can see. I do buy the petite diced. I found people, when they're eating it at the table, they have an easier time with tomatoes that are diced more petitely. Now this is where you're going to get some of your juice. This one does not seem, I'm going to rinse this can with some more water because there wasn't a lot of, it will juice up. We got quite a bit of meat in there, so I think we're going to need a little more liquid.
We got a special guest, Dad, opening the cans for Grandma.
And I purposely got this kind of diced. This first one here is just strictly tomatoes. And
okay.
Because we didn't have as much juice on canned string beans, I'm not putting in so it's a little more. I didn't put. You can put tomato soup in too, but this I like. I have one can that has some basil, garlic, and seasoning in it.
No complaints.
And I'm going to rinse out the can. That, you rinse the cans and pour that in. That goes back to my frugality. I confess.
You don't let anything go to waste.
No, that's just kind of weird, isn't it?
No.
Okay, we wait about 10 minutes, so we do wait for that. Now this is all going to cook together for a good 45 minutes. I'll have to shoot up the heat. So
we just added about a 15-ounce can of beef broth.
Yes, don't go any less. Is that 15 ounce? Well, it's not quite. You know what? I think they shrink the size so they don't have to add. Normally it would have been 15 ounce. I see that's shrunk a little bit too. But this has got a fair amount of juice on now. Just make sure it's all mixed up. And then I want to bring it to a boil and then simmer it. It takes about that long for some of those raw vegetables to get done. Makes you kind of hungry.
It smells amazing.
So there we go.
Simmer away.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on this so it doesn't boil over.
All right, soup for lunch. And then at the very end, we will add the dry ingredients. Right, Grandma?
Yep. Are we good to go?
Yep.
To add some quick barley, which needs about 10 minutes. And then we will turn off the heat on this adventure and just add some noodles to cook through. So,
All right, so 10 minutes.
10
Okay.
minutes,
10 minutes on.
and they will be done. So, oh, you've got the timer on. You got extra wide egg noodles, wouldn't you know, Cub Food brand. But I will just put a handful in. I just kind of guess, scatter them. We don't want too many noodles in because what does that do?
Soak up all the water.
Yeah, it soaks up. So I'm thinking just a little more and we've got enough.
Okay, and then right before this, 10 minutes before this, she added the quick barley and had that simmering for about 10 minutes.
Now I've turned off the heat entirely. And
Okay.
we've got a little bit of noodle in there. I think that will probably, I think I'll just do a few more. I like noodles, but they do tend to dry off your soup.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So you turn the heat off, and this should be ready to go in how long?
7 minutes, really, because it's just to get them heated. There should be enough heat there. There. So they're off. That's it. Wunderbar.
The finished product, you said?
The finished product. Now, there's a lot of meat in this because we had a very good soup bowl.
Yummy.
Have it? That's yours.
Oh, thank you.